Hey guys, and welcome to week 5. Thankfully, you guys have gotten a break from writing your discussion post and reading so that you can focus solely on turning your outlines of your literacy narratives into working drafts. So I have some important reminders and some housekeeping stuff to go over with you, and then I'm going to briefly go over the readings for this week and how they're going to support you in drafting. So my office hours have changed. They were on Fridays from 11 to 2, but now they are going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, or by appointment if those times don't work for you. I figured setting them earlier on in the week would be more convenient for you guys. And I also wanted to make room for our optional synchronous meetings that we're going to start doing on Fridays. And I'll explain more of that later. But please come chat with me in office hours about anything. If you want to talk about your papers, about the readings, about anything concerning the class, please use this as a space to do so. I really want to talk to you guys, and it's no problem at all. So synchronous meetings, a lot of you guys responded to the poll that you did want to meet synchronously. The overwhelming majority decided that they wanted to meet bi-weekly and on Fridays around 11 a.m. So what we're going to do is meet on Zoom bi-weekly, so every other Friday at 11 a.m. So Zoom usually has a 40-minute max. I think they might have stalled that because of the coronavirus, but 40 minutes to an hour I think is a good amount of time anyways. So these are going to be optional and they're not part of your grade. So you don't need to come if you don't want to. These are just if you want to talk about the readings, if you want to chat with me and with your classmates. And they will be starting next Friday, September 25th. I'm going to be posting this slide along with this video on Blackboard. It has this link here. So if you go ahead and download the Zoom app, all you'll have to do is click on this link and then put in this passcode. And this is what we're going to use to meet. And I'll email you guys with some reminders about this. So just a reminder, Slack is a messaging platform that I've set up for you guys for reminders. A lot of you mentioned in your introduction surveys that the thing that you were most nervous about with learning online was that you would miss out on due dates. So what I've done is I've created this as a platform to send you notifications for reminders or due dates. If you click on this link, you can download this desktop app or you can get it on your phone and it will send you reminders that I post about due dates. We can chat about the readings, etc. If you download Slack, I'm going to give you 2 points of extra credit that will go on to any assignment that you need at the end of the semester if you sign up. Also, a quick note on your responses. You guys are doing a great job, but I just wanted to say, I have noticed that the impulse that you guys have is to just say that you agree with each other. I want you to do a little bit more elaboration on those. So if you do agree with each other, that's perfectly fine, but explain why. And also know that it's perfectly okay to disagree with something that someone might have said. Explain why. You can not even necessarily disagree, but just point out that you read something that they read in one way differently. Anything like that, point out something that's interesting to you. The whole point is just to be as thoughtful with your responses as you are with your discussion posts. So the Everyday Writer, Exploring, Planning, and Drafting, this chapter basically just goes over the process of the beginning phases of writing, which is brainstorming what you want to write about and kind of figuring out what that will look like, all through outlining, which is what you guys have already done, all the way to beginning your draft. So 2 important things I wanted to note was that obviously the literacy narrative is not a typical essay assignment, so you won't necessarily have a thesis statement for this. All I'm expecting is that you guys will explain in your intro paragraph in some way what your story is or what it's about and why it's significant. And then the next is to just what it mentions about creating a draft is that you should be flexible. This is 100% true, and I want to encourage you guys to be as flexible as possible when you're drafting. What this means is that your vision for what your paper will look or sound like at the beginning might change as you start drafting and as your ideas start developing. This is totally okay and normal. So don't freak out and don't stress out if halfway through your draft you decide to switch something in your 3rd paragraph to your 1st paragraph, or if you want to start your story with your ending in mind instead of the beginning. Just be flexible with it. The whole point is that next week we're going to do peer reviews, and so this is just a draft. It's never perfect. This chapter 54 through 57, MLA formatting, you do not need to read word for word. You do want to take note of it because you are going to need to use MLA formatting for all of the assignments that you submit and even in your discussion posts. So what you especially want to look for in these chapters is how to cite direct quotes from readings. So in your discussion posts, a lot of you guys have done a really good job of pulling quotes from the text, but you forget that at the end of that, you need to have parentheses after your quote with the author's last name and either the page number if it's a story or a line number if it's a poem. So, Works Cited 2, we're going to do essays in the future, and we'll get to those after we're done with Unit 1. But you do want to practice with Works Cited. So MLA will show you how to format your paper, how to cite certain works, etc. So this is just an important thing to preview, but also to look over whenever you're turning in your final drafts. Another quick note, your paper should be in Times New Roman or a similar font, 12-point double spaced with headers. So in the left-hand corner, my name, your name, the section, which is 104, and then today's date or the date that you're submitting, your title, and then the rest of your essay. Please be sure to submit all of your assignments through Blackboard as doc or docx files only. If you don't submit them in this format, then it's very difficult, if not impossible, for me to leave feedback for you guys. And it's really important that I do that. So if you use some online platform like Google Docs to write your papers, that's totally fine. You can file, download as, and then do a Microsoft Word document. If you have any trouble doing that, just let me know, but do make sure that you're submitting your assignments that way. And then just a last note, I'm really, really looking forward to your outlines. I'm going to be giving you feedback on those sometime between tonight and tomorrow night. And then you'll have the rest of the week to draft. If you want to talk about how to convert your outline into a draft, or you want to mull over your ideas with me, I encourage you to do that. Either meet with me in office hours or schedule an appointment over Zoom, send me an email, message me in Slack, whatever you'd like. But I'm here for you guys throughout that drafting process. And just let me know if you have any questions.